In this video, we want to talk about a couple matrix operations, specifically addition and subtraction and scalar multiplication. Regular matrix multiplication will be dealt with in another video. Before we get to this, though, we want to define what we mean by a matrix and the order of a matrix. So a matrix is simply a grouping of numbers. A fancy word here is an array of numbers. That just means we organize them in rows and columns. The order of the matrix is important. The order of a matrix is its number of rows by number of columns. So this first one has 2 rows and 2 columns. This second example has 2 horizontal rows but 3 vertical columns, so that would be a 2 by 3 matrix. This next one is actually called a column matrix. It is 4 horizontal rows and 1 vertical column, so it is a 4 by 1 matrix, also called a column matrix. And this last one, we actually can have a matrix that has only 1 entry. That is a 1 by 1 row, 1 column. The order is important because in order to add and subtract, we must have matrices of the same order, because what we're going to do is take each of the entries, correspond them, so same position, first row, first column, first row, second column, etc., and do that operation of addition. So my first example here is matrix A, which is 2 by 2, added to matrix B, which is 2 by 2. And my answer, by the way, is going to be a 2 by 2 as well. So let's take a look at what A plus B is. I'm going to take the first entry in matrix A, 2, and add it to the first entry, first column in matrix B. So 2 plus -6. Then I go to the second column, first row, -3 added to 7. Again, so corresponding entries. And we go through the whole matrix like that to get our final answer. Subtraction, basically the same thing. Of course, the only difference is going to be that instead of adding our corresponding entries, we're going to subtract them. So we just watch our signs. But with addition and subtraction, we have to have the same order, and we end up with a matrix that is still that same order. That's going to be different when we get to other operations. All right, let's talk about one more that's pretty easy. That is scalar multiplication. A scalar is a fancy word for a number, right? So what we're doing in these is taking a number times a matrix. Basically, all we're doing is taking each entry in that matrix and multiplying it by the number. So my first example here is 3A. That means I'm going to take 3 times each of those entries in matrix A. So we just multiply them all by 3. We can sometimes combine scalar multiplication with addition and subtraction. So my second example here is 2A minus 3B. So what we would first have to do is multiply everything in matrix A by 2, and then multiply everything in matrix B by 3, and then we're going to subtract those results. So order of operations still applies here. Always do your multiplication before you do your addition and subtraction. So you can see I multiplied each entry in matrix A by 2, each one in matrix B by 3. I simplify those results, and then I get my final answer. Let me know if you have any questions.